Hey guys, welcome to Motoroids, and the much awaited XUV 3XO is here, and I can assure you that you'll be surprised with the kind of features that this car has and the amount of space that it has and everything else. So let's get started. I won't be able to tell you everything about it because it's just a walk around. Tomorrow we'll be driving this car, so I'll be coming up with a very detailed review. But let's first talk about what exactly this car is about on the surface. And as you can see, the design has been completely changed, and the grille is not very prominent. It's been rather hidden with this piano black kind of a treatment. The Mahindra SUV logo is here with these three vertical chrome plated slats, and here you have the lower grille. This 360-degree camera front unit stands right here. And if you think why this bonnet is not as high as the previous one, what has happened is, while inside you have a very commanding driving position, the visibility has been improved, and now you have a better viewing angle from inside. So the visibility on the car has really improved. What also has improved is the fact that now it gets level 2 ADAS. So you can see the camera here, and it also gets a radar based system. So it has one of the most advanced ADAS systems out there. Headlight system, as you can see, there's this DRL, and it gets an LED projector as well along with this lamp here. But obviously this is not the standard fare. This is the top of the line variant, and you also have other variants. Now, talking about variants, you have many variants. You have the MX1, MX2 Pro, MX3 Pro, then you have the AX5, AX5L, then you have the AX7 and AX7L variant. So there's a whole gamut of variant. But the good part is that Mahindra have really played it very competitively, both in terms of pricing and features. So variant to variant, I cannot really compare all the variants right now, but when you compare variant to variant, the pricing versus the features are really competitive. So even for the base variant, the features are more than the next best, and vice versa. If you go to the top variant also, you have some features which no other variant in that specific class has. And coming towards the side, the good part about this car is that it has the longest wheelbase. The space inside is really generous, and the ground clearance also is pretty good. The approach and departure angles are also pretty commendable for a two-wheel drive car. The water wading capability also is 300 mm plus, which is again commendable. And the wheelbase, as I mentioned, is really long. This is the top of the line variant, and as you can see, it is a two-tone treatment. So the roof is blacked out, and you have this roof rail. Now, this car also claims to have the biggest roof in the segment, and what Mahindra is calling it is the sky roof, and it is the biggest panoramic sunroof in its class. Coming towards the rear, as you can see, it gets a connected LED setup, and it gets a very wide kind of a stance, very squat, really adds to the wide look of the car. And as I mentioned, this is the AX7 version. This is the reverse light. Here you have the reverse camera, and let's have a look at the boot also. Now, the boot size here is not best in class, but what Mahindra has been telling us is that while on paper it may not be the best in class, it's pretty generous. And if you compare it with the other cars in the segment, and if you load it up to the height of the shoulder, that is, the seat here, it is comparable to the best in class, and it's only marginally less than what other cars are offering in the segment. It also gets 60-40 split seats as standard. So what you can do is you can use the seats flexibly, and if you're going out for a vacation with your family, I personally believe that this is a reasonable amount of space. The space as compared to the previous XUV 300 has increased, but still this is not best in class. You also get these hooks here, and there obviously is some space for a parcel tray as well. Now, in terms of engine options, you have three engine options. So you have a baseline TC MPFI engine, which is less powerful. Then you have the more powerful engine, and then you have a diesel engine as well. And in terms of the engine and transmission options, while the petrol engines get 6-speed automatic and 6-speed manual, the diesel only gets auto shift, which is essentially an AMT. In terms of power output, the diesel gets segment leading 117 PS of power and 300 Newton meters of torque, The fuel efficiencies are also pretty commendable. I don't have handy with me right now, but up to 21 kmpl of fuel efficiency on the diesel and up to 20 kmpl on the more powerful petrol, which has 130 PS of power and 230 Newton meters of torque. And on the lower powered variant, you have about 100 PS of power and about 200 Newton meters of torque. And let's now get inside the cabin and see what all is there on offer. Now, right off the bat, while this car is loaded with features and it kills the segment with the kind of features and amenities that it offers, it does not come with electric seats. So that's one feature that's missing, and I wanted to mention that at the outset. Also, like all the other cars in this segment, it does not come with a telescopic steering wheel. You also don't get ventilated seats there, which I think is a bit of an omission, and if this was a brand new car, the ventilated seat feature should have been there. But now on to the good part. There are twin 10.25 inch screens and they look stunning, very high res, and we have already seen them on the XUV 400. You can also see the modes here, and they are very responsive to touch, as you can see. And as you can see, it comes loaded with all of these apps. Before we start talking about the cabin and the interior, let me just tell you that the structure of this cabin has been strengthened and it enhances the safety significantly. Even the base variants now come with 6 airbags, and I'm very confident that when there is an NCAP testing of this car, it will have a 5-star rating. Now, another great thing about the cabin is that all of this material is soft to touch, and generally you won't get these soft to touch materials in this class. And even the lower part is done in a very high quality plastic, and this inlay here in piano black also looks rather good. This central part also, these buttons, I would have wanted Mahindra to do something with them. I don't like the way they feel. These slim buttons, I would have wanted them to be normal buttons, but what the hell, the quality seems to have gone up and visually they look better, definitely. Now, in terms of the quality of the upholstery, here I can tell you that the quality of the upholstery is fantastic. There is ample amount of headroom here. There is absolutely no problem with the space. The visibility as claimed by Mahindra is again fantastic. And here, let me turn the light on first so that we have better visibility. We have familiar controls, and as you can see, this is the instrument console, and we have seen this on some other Mahindra cars as well, and those who have seen the Mahindra instrument consoles would find this very relatable. But here, as you can see, the tacho and speedo are laid out in a slightly different manner. But apart from that, it's a very familiar unit to control, and the steering also is very familiar. You have this nice leather covered steering wheel, and you have one type C and one type A USB sockets. This one is a fast charger. This one has 65 watt charger. You get wireless charging. You also have metal pedals here. Now let's have a look at this armrest, and you have this much of space here. 2 cup holders, electronic parking brake, auto hold function, and the glove box looks like this. And you also get the cooling function with this rotary knob here. The AC, as you can see, is a dual zone unit. You can control the AC temperature using these 2 knobs on both the ends. The interface here is familiar with those who have used a Mahindra car before, and it gets Adrenox. And the audio system here is again phenomenal. It's 380 watts and it comes with a total of 7 speakers, and it really is a fantastic unit. So if you're looking for a car that sounds really nice on the inside, if you're a music aficionado, then this car is really going to be fantastic for you. Let's open the sunroof also and see by how much does it go back. As Mahindra is claiming, this is the largest sunroof in class, and this is how it looks. Let's bring it back, and you have these 2 separate buttons for the blinds. So this is to bring it on, and this one is to take it back, like so. Then you have this vanity mirror here with illumination on the left hand side. And apart from that, The cabin feels very nicely done. You have soft to touch materials here as well, and everything is very nicely laid out. Feels like it's built to last, very solid. Electric folding mirrors and electric controls. The driver side window is auto up and down, while the other three sides are not. Let's quickly get to the back seat also and see how much space we have there. Now the entry and exit at both the front end and the rear end is very easy, even for the shorter ones or the elderly. And like always, the width here is class leading. As you can see, the headroom is also pretty good. I am 5 feet 10 and there is some space to spare. So even if you are a 6-footer, you should not have a problem. You have this armrest, 2 cup holders, an individual headrest for the third passenger, individual seat belt for the third passenger. You have this very nice AC vent type C USB socket, 12-volt power socket, and this space for cell phone, water bottle holder, map pockets. And again, the panels here are done in piano black and this very nice high quality soft to touch material here. So all of that is fantastically done. Now some great things that Mahindra have told us about this cabin is that it offers you the most amount of width, the most amount of space between the front and rear passengers. And if you're looking for a very spacious cabin, they have really extracted the most for a sub 4 meter. Say hi to Mr. Ramesh Somani. Extracted the most for the cabin, and in the bargain they have slightly lost out on the boot space. It's perfectly practical. It's not something which should bother you. It's slightly less than the competition, but it's more than sufficient. And if you want to be traveling in comfort, then this cabin is really going to delight you. Apart from that, a few other things that you need to notice when you're driving it, when you take a test drive of this car, is that the suspension has been completely recalibrated. The damping is speed dependent. Apart from that, the insulation has been paid special attention to, and if some of the data that Mahindra have shared with us has to be believed, then this car is the quietest in its class. Of course, the XUV always has been the best driving car in its class, so handling was never suspect, but the cabin quietness and the ride quality also is the best in class. If Mahindra had to be believed, I'll be driving it tomorrow and I'll be able to let you know whether it really is tomorrow. But by the first looks, it looks like a very premium cabin, and for the class it feels like a very premium proposition. I really wish that it had ventilated seats as well as electric seats, but that's not there. But apart from that, if you talk about features, it really is loaded to the gills, and the value proposition that it offers is fantastic. Apart from the drive modes that I showed you up front, it also gets 3 steering modes, and I'll tell you how it feels from behind the steering wheel when I drive it tomorrow. As I mentioned before, it comes with a lot of variants. So as you can see here, you have the diesel, you have the 1.2 liter TCMPFI, which is a lower powered variant, and then you have the 1.2 liter M Stallion, which is a more powered, higher powered petrol variant. And here you have the pricing from 10 lakh rupees to 15 lakh rupees for the diesel, and you'll have to add 0.8 lakh rupees for the auto shift at diesel. Alright, and ATs will cost 1.5 lakh rupees extra, and ATs are available with 1.2 liter TCMPFI as well as M Stallion. So the basic TCMPFI starts at 7.5 lakh rupees and goes all the way to 10.69 lakh rupees, and the M Stallion will start only from the premium AX5L variant and will start at 12 lakh rupees and go till 14 lakh rupees for the MT, and will start at 13.5 lakh rupees and will go all the way to 15.5 lakh rupees for the AT. So that's that, guys. In the first look, I really like this car. Apart from a few missing features, I think this is a fantastic job, and it will reinvigorate the brand XUV 3XO, which has now been renamed 3XO, and it looks more contemporary, more premium. What do you think about the car? Do let us know in the comment section. And tomorrow we are going to do a very exhaustive review, so stay tuned. And we are also going to be doing a video about which variant gets you what, and stay tuned for that as well. Like always, this is your friend Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.